Hello again, hope you're all doing well. Long time viewers. Remember this channel back in the old days, up until really just a few years ago, we were just doing short videos covering one case, and we'd release 2 or 3 of these each month. There was no guide, there was no Substack, it was just pure videos, just like MTV. Then we switched to the current format that we've been doing for the last couple of years. That current format is not going away. But an opportunity came to shill, and as you guys know, when it comes to shilling, I'm the shill master. So, hey, you know what? We just got done raising $1,200 for CVLS. So I saw this opportunity, figured, hey, why not try and raise some more money for the best legal aid charity in Illinois? Now, this is a weight loss / supplement contest by a company called One Up Nutrition. It's just a beauty contest. The best before and after pictures after 8 weeks wins stuff. If I'm picked, I'm just going to have them take the tax write-off and give it to CVLS. So yes, there are before pictures. I don't know if I'm going to post them because test audiences did not react well to it. I'm 47, what do you expect? But to force myself to stay with the program, because it's 8 grueling weeks, for me at least, getting up at like 4:30 a.m. to work out, I am posting a video a week, like in the old days, to kind of show off my progress and to shame myself really into sticking with it. Contest ends in the middle of March. And the first case out of the gate is a banger. It's Waterman because, well, unless Gitlin knows something I don't, this is the first case where bizarre in-court behavior by a parent triggers a mental health factor under our best interest statute, which in turn kind of helped dad get the lion's share of custody. For non-lawyers, this is what it all means. Mom crashed out in court. And the issue on appeal is, can a judge take note of a party's bizarre behavior in their presence and say, hey, you know, I think there's something seriously wrong here. I don't feel comfortable giving you custody of the kids. Now, in criminal cases, we do evaluations all the time based on in-court behavior because, well, they may not be fit to stand trial. And in juvenile cases, judges absolutely can consider in-court behavior when tailoring services or even making unfitness or best interest findings. But what about a divorce or parentage case? You know, maybe the parent is nervous or maybe they're just eccentric, I don't know. Does there need to be an expert involved before a judge can consider their behavior as some sort of mental health issue? The appellate court's answer to this may be rooted in some recent history, namely the Garnhart decisions, plural. I covered the third case in the Garnhart trilogy. In that one, mom tried telling the judge she was cured of all the bad behavior that led to the first 2 cases. But despite claiming she had a clean bill of civility, she just kept crashing out during court and displayed a complete lack of accountability. But the in-court crash outs that we talked about in Garnhart Part 3, The Revenge, really only went to whether there had been a substantial change in circumstances to lift a restriction that was previously entered under 603.10. It was not applied to the best interest factors, whereas Waterman is all about the best interests. In Waterman, mom was pro se during the initial divorce. Actually, I think she was pro se during all of this. There's one kid, they sort of worked out a temporary 50-50 sort of arrangement. Just weeks after that had dried, mom wants to run off to Wisconsin. The judge shoots that down. That seems to trigger her because then she withholds the child from visits, and her reasons were really at best very nonsensical. And a little while later, mom starts filing motions with these titles. I know I'm just an appellate lawyer, but colleagues, we've all seen this movie before. And if you're not a lawyer, here's what I think happened. This is just a guess. Dad knew mom was who she was because, you know, they were together for a while. Once out of a million cases does something like this come out of left field. Most partners are more than aware, often tragically so, when their significant other is wrestling with some serious personal demons. So I think dad tried to save a few bucks by saying, okay, you know, just take your 50-50, just leave me alone. But as dad learned the hard way, people wrestling with demons, you don't cure them by caving into their demands. At best, that just buys time before their next incident. Needless to say, the trial was, here. Mom accused dad of being a pedophile, or abusive person, a rapist, you name it, she accused him of it. Her evidence consisted of really just trust me, bro. And in one instance, there was actually some documents that contradicted her claims. It turns out she had been psychiatrically committed sometime in 2016 or 2017. So make of that of what you will. Anyways, the judge hears all of this, issues this ruling. And when it goes through all the factors, when it gets to the mental health factor, it discusses her past psychiatric history. And crucial to this video, Mom's conduct in court. Namely, she seemed incapable of handling herself during proceedings and, quote, the chaotic random way she numbered and organized her exhibits, end quote. Now, I don't have the transcripts, but reading between the lines in this decision, I feel pretty confident in saying Mom was like a Tasmanian devil in open court. And I say this because the appellate court, who no doubt read through all the transcripts, notes this in its decision affirming Dad's award of sole custody. The judge expressed concern about Mom's mental health as well as her ability to display insight and judgment, particularly regarding her prioritizing attacking Dad over parenting her daughter. The circuit court further stated that its concern arose from its observation of Mom during the hearing, including the repeated unfounded allegations she made against Dad, her inability to present exhibits or testimony in a logical, coherent manner, and her use of certain exhibits, the content of which the court described as disturbing. So yes, Virginia, a judge can trust what they see with their own eyes when it comes to mental health. And allowing courts to consider how a parent conducts themselves in court, well, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're a judge or a juror sitting on a case and you see a party being unhinged in open court, are you really supposed to act like you didn't see it unless it happened on the witness stand?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official, in this case, who is acting as a public servant, to be put on the record. And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds.
So I don't know why Waterman is a Rule 23. This one really should have been published. Anyway, before I wrap up this very cheery episode, I'll give you my take on the supplements. The lemon is actually pretty mild if you don't like citrusy stuff, but honestly, this one right here is shockingly good. And both have just like 80 calories, 20 grams of protein. You can actually even turn them into gummies, which I haven't tried, but I think is pretty cool. All right, enough infomercial. I'll be back in about 10 days or so with my progress and a new case hot off the press. If you like the new old format, you can leave a like. For now, this is just a temporary thing, but who knows? And with that said, until next time, as always, thanks for watching.